Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 44 of the regular season. Astros win 8-4 over the Oakland Athletics. And with this win, the Astros take a half-a-game lead over the Oakland A's in the West, which is very exciting. This is the first time we've had the division lead since the 10th game of the year, so it's been 34 games since we've had that honor. Great win for the Astros today. Offensive outburst, getting right into it. Early on in the third, Straw would single, Maldonado would double, and Miles Straw, being just insanely fast, would score from first. He could have scored without the bobble by the outfielder, but the bobble obviously helped. It would be 1-1 at that point. Altuve would walk, Brantley would single to move Altuve to third and score Martin Maldonado to make it a 2-1 ball game. Bregman would then single to score Altuve to make it 3-1. Jordan would strike out, and Yuli would ground into a double play, so that was a bummer. Could have been a better inning, but it's okay. We picked up a 3 spot. That's fantastic. In their part of the third, Tony Kemp would hit a home run to make it a 3-2 ball game, which was a mixture of happiness and sadness for me. In the fourth, Correa would pop out, Tucker would double, Straw would ground out, and Martin Maldonado with a home run, which is not usual for this to happen today, which made it 5-3, and then Altuve would pop out to end it. In the sixth, a Lowry single would score Olsen, which made it a 6-3 ball game, or a 5-3 ball game, excuse me. And in the seventh, the Astros would pick up another run. Altuve would single, Brantley would line out, Bregman would then double, and then Altuve, who was cruising, would come all the way around and score to make it a 6-3 game. Jordan would strike out, and Yuli Gurriel would ground out to end our seventh inning. And then a scary eighth inning, where Ryan Stennett came in, and he would load the bases. And it's bases loaded, 2 outs, and I gotta be honest, I said this has been the exception to the rule for Ryan Stennett the other night when he gave up a 3 spot in the inning. I said this is the exception, and I was okay with it because at that moment it was 100% unusual for him this season. Now this happens where it's like 3 games in a row he's been really shaky with control, and it's starting to worry me a bit with Ryan Stennett. Again, no runs given up, and he got the 2 outs, but boy, it's getting a little concerning with Ryan Stennett because he was, through the first 40 games, just a absolute stud coming out of the pen, and now it's starting to get to the point where he's a little, you're not comfortable with him at this point, which is not good at all. Like I said, Presley would come in, get a big out, but he wouldn't return for the ninth. We brought in Scrub in that ninth, but before then, the Astros would plate a few more. Altuve would single to start it, Bregman would then single and move Altuve to third. Jordan would ground out, and it was looking like it was going to be a double play, but Guzman just couldn't get the catch over at first. It flies over his head. Altuve would score to make it a 7-3 ball game, and Jordan would move over to second on some pretty savvy, picking up on that it was going to be a good throw out. And in Oakland, if it's past anyone, like the catcher, the first baseman, or the third baseman with a throw, you're moving up. It doesn't matter. It is such a big ballpark. After that, Yuli would single, and Jordan would score to make it an 8-3 ball game. And in their part of the ninth, a Seth Brown homer would be all they can muster run-wise against Andre Scrub, and we would get out of it with an 8-4 victory. A very good game by the Astros offensively. It's fantastic, right? The Astros pick up a massive win. They win the series now. You're up a half game over the division lead, which isn't a massive lead or anything. That's not impressive, but you haven't been there in a while. And for a while there, it was a pretty darn big deficit to climb out of. And I was saying, I'm not worried. We'll probably retake the division lead in late June. So the fact that we're doing it now is quite a bit ahead schedule. So I'm very happy with that. This was a very good game. So pitching lines, right? This is the part that I do pitching. Luis Garcia went 5 innings of work, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. So a pretty decent day for Luis Garcia. Nothing shabby there. Brooks Raley came in. He would give up 2 hits, a run, no walks, no strikeouts. So that was a little shaky for him. Brian Abreu came in, 1 hit in an inning of work, no walks, no strikeouts, and no runs. So pretty good for Brian Abreu. Stennett, like I said, pretty shaky. 2/3 of an inning, no hits, no runs, but a pair of walks, and I believe the error was what let the other guy reach to get the bases loaded. And he would strike out a pair, so that's a positive, but man, Ryan Stennett is becoming a bit nerve-wracking. Presley with 1/3 of an inning, big whoop there, not much to talk about with that. And Andre Scrub with 2 hits, a run, a strikeout on the final pitch to strike out Ramon Laureano, in his inning of work. So not bad for him. So, final thoughts. I thought Luis Garcia was pretty all right. Nothing shabby. 5 innings of 2-run baseball is good. You'll take that every day of the week from probably the 4th starter in your rotation. I'm not going to complain about that. Offensively, Altuve was fantastic. He went 2 for 4 with a walk and 3 runs. That's 4, Weston. This is 3. So good day by him. Brantley had a hit and an RBI. Bregman was fantastic. 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, and a walk. He reached 4 times to end the game, if I'm not mistaken. So great day by him. Correa had a pair of hits, and Martin Maldonado had a pair of hits. My eyes started watering there for some reason. And yeah, that was it. A very, very good game. My eyes are watering like crazy now. Man, I'm sorry about that. Great game for the Astros. Get out of it. Now you are 26-18, which is just such a different story than last year, where through the first 40 games, we were just straddling the 500 line. We straddled that line for the entire season. We'd win a game and then lose a game, then win 2, then lose 2. Like, we couldn't get over 500, and we didn't. We would end up under 500 for last season. But that was last season. We're leaving that in the past. The Astros looked like the juggernaut they were in 2018 and 19 and 17, really, which is super fantastic to see. Just a great game for the Astros. And tomorrow, we have a little something a little special. Tyler Ivy, right-handed pitcher for the Astros, a prospect, will be making his Major League debut, which was unforeseen. So he'll be making that debut tomorrow night. That'll be interesting. The game is at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:05 Central. And we're playing the Rangers back in Texas. Not in our Texas, but in their Texas. That doesn't make any sense. It's the same state. Not in our stadium in Texas, in their stadium in Texas. I swear I can say things that make sense occasionally. Anyway, that is all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, go Astros. Crap.